So I'm going to take the opportunity to show you another important WordPress function. So what happens when your blog posts are so long and you don't want them to just kind of run down a page, and have the user have to scroll over and over to get to the end? If you've got a really, really long blog post, WordPress has a way for users to be able to flip through the pages of the blog post, almost like you can divide it into pages. And this is what we call pagination. And this applies to a lot of different frameworks, Ruby on Rails and JavaScript-based websites and other PHP-based websites. It's a common concept called pagination. And we can make it work pretty easily in WordPress. We use a special function, and we do this inside of the loop. So that means inside here, inside of this while loop, whenever we refer to the loop, we're talking about this while loop where we say, okay, while there are any blog posts, if that's true, then for each post, we're going to show the title, the date, and the content here. Okay, so inside of this loop, we're going to add a function called wp_link_pages. Okay, so this is how this function works. If I go over here and just kind of search for it, wp link pages in Google, you'll see they give you examples, and they're saying that this function works when you add this next page quick tag. WordPress has these quick tags that you can add to your content. And if you click on quick tag, you can see all the different quick tags you can add, like bolding your content and adding hyperlinks in your content. Well, if you want to add pages within a blog post, you use this next page tag right here, this quick tag. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go over here, and this is our third blog post. And over here, we're just going to dump in some lorem ipsum text. So if you remember, we can open up a new browser tab and just type out lorem ipsum. You could also search lorem ipsum generator. So we'll search that in Google. And that first website is lipsum.com. And that's where we can get some dummy Latin text. Remember, this is how web designers prefer to kind of put in dummy text, just so they can visualize what a filled out website would look like. And I'm just going to grab this paragraph here without the quotation marks, go over to my post here, and I'm just going to kind of add in a few paragraphs like this. And then let's say after the second paragraph, just for the sake of simplicity, I want to create a new page. Well, you can do that in WordPress by using this new next page quick tag. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm just going to drop it in right there. And just by doing that, the user will now have the option to flip to the next page. So I'm going to update this post so that it's saved to the database now. And then if I go over here and view it, it's not going to work just yet. So if I refresh, it's just showing up as next page. But we're going to have page links in here once we're done building out this function. So we're inside of the loop here, inside single.php, and we need to add this function in. So we're going to do this. We're going to add our PHP tags first, tab that inward. Let's add our closing PHP tag right here. And then right here, we're going to say, in parentheses, an array will go inside of it. Hopefully you're getting used to this pattern of putting arrays inside of these functions. And then over here, we're just going to write out some code. We're going to say before So we're just adding in some HTML here. Have a dot and then 2 underscores. And then we'll say pages, custom theme. And make sure you have your commas there with these arrays. Okay, so that's the first part of the array. Then The rest of it's a little more simple. We'll say after, have our arrow pointer there, and then we'll say close the div. Two underscores, and then page, and then custom theme. Okay, so we'll save all that, and then we'll just line up these arrows as a best practice for formatting reasons. Just go to the furthest one. This is the furthest one, so I'm going to line them all up to that one. Okay, and I know this is a lot of code, so you want to make sure you got it exactly right with those commas after each of these lines, except for the last line. And you also want to make sure you got your quotations right. So single quotes wrap each of these values, and then inside of it you'll have these double quotes. So you have to make sure you got this all right, otherwise you will get an error. Now if I save this, and I go over here and I refresh, nothing's happening. And the problem is, if we go over to edit post, we can't actually add this right here in the visual mode of the editor. You want to be in the text mode. So I'm going to cut that out from there and go to text mode, because text mode is where we can add HTML, and that is an HTML comment right there, as we know. Okay, so that's actual HTML. Visual mode's not going to render it properly, so you want to stay in text mode. And just as a rule of thumb, I typically recommend that you stay in text mode if you're a developer, and you just write your stuff in as HTML in here. That's what text mode allows for. So I'm going to update the blog post now, and then go over here and refresh. And there we go. Now we actually have paging going on with our blog. So this is the second page, and here's the first page. So I just wanted to demonstrate that as well, that you can do pagination from within a blog post, and you do it with this WP link pages function. And again, you'll see examples of this if you go to the other themes, like 2016, that's a default theme. And then you head over there and you look at their single.php file. You'll see it's actually inside of a template part here called content single. There's an example of using that WP link pages function. So I'm going to close those out for now so that we're just looking at ours. Save your file, and we'll go on from here.